Hey, what's up, fellas? So, I just caught that 30-second preview of Cotto Vs Margachito 2 this December 2011, and man, this fight, this ain't about belts. This isn't about this is about, man, I was trying to figure out just from that 30 seconds, read into it. And Cotto displayed the characteristic about him that, if you love him, this is what you love about him, is that he's so calm and cool and seems to be humbled. It's almost like by his humbleness, he even realizes that that he's not invincible, that he's not the best, but that he is sure of himself, and he's in control of his emotions, which is really half the game. Anytime you're doing anything competitive, is just being in control of your own emotions. You could have all the talent in the world, and if you're not in control of your emotions, man, you can't really get too much accomplished, because people will just trigger you, and that's exactly what Margachito's trying to do, is trigger him off. And why is Margachito appear to be so sensitive to Cotto, and so snappy, and so so aggressive? Granted, I understand this is boxing, but still, it's almost like he's got a serious chip on his shoulder against him, when he's the one that beat his ass. I mean, legitimately or not, I tend to believe, illegitimately, but if it was a legitimate beatdown, just because everyone else is saying that, oh, the only reason he beat him was because his gloves were stacked, well, if he knows it ain't true, then what's he so bent out of shape for, right? He appears to be very bent out of shape. I can't wait for this fight, because I know a lot of, guys in the know are claiming that, it's probably going to be more of the same, just due to the styles. But, there's something to be said for attitude and for state of mind, and that's what Cotto has. I mean, what he didn't, I think it's maybe something that he lacked at the time of their original fight. I think he was on his way to a fight with Floyd Mayweather. They were touting him as one of the best. I forgot who it was that he just beat before Margachito, but I'm pretty sure he beat somebody very convincingly. And, maybe it got to his head a little bit. Even though he's not one to show it. One second. We also know that we now know from some of the 24/7s and reading some articles that also Cotto's had, trouble with his trainers. I think originally his uncle trained him, and his uncle ran a very strict camp and really didn't give Cotto any kind of say in how he was to train and such, and apparently Cotto didn't like that, but felt torn about dropping him as a trainer because it was his uncle, his father's brother. And so then he finally did that, and he flipped to the other extreme, whereby when someone usually is in a position where they've been controlled for so long, so to speak, at least training wise, then he got some young trainer, and I believe it was the 24/7 that was leading up to his Pacquiao fight, where he was with all his bros and they were goofing around, being silly, and then this kind of stuff. And I don't really think, I think he went to the other extreme then. Then he went to a situation where he himself was entirely in control. And most of us that are fans of boxing and know that as a fighter, you have to kind of have somebody telling you what to do in a strict sort of way. I mean, I guess not in a complete ultimate sort of way, but you've got to put your trust into someone. As a fighter, you have to put your trust into a trainer and let them guide you. And he went the other way, where he was basically in charge of his own camp. And that's not good. So, we also know he's had some challenges with his wife and his family. And then his father passed away. So, this guy's been through a lot. And, and he's got it. And now, whereas before, I used to think maybe before he was a little cocky earlier in his career. Now I really like him. I really like him. And, look, it takes a very strong mind to be in the ring with what's his name? What's that crazy guy, but with Don King that Cotto just beat? What's his name? The older fighter. Jesus, the Nicaraguan guy. I can't think of his name. But anyhow, that guy tries to use mental psychology. I mean, that's a large part of his game. Dropping his arms and what's his name? Jesus, I can't think of his name. Anyhow, I'm just trying to say that I think Cotto has practically the world behind him in this fight, and I really do feel that he might be able to set aside a lot of things in his life and focus entirely for this fight, and beat his ass. So we'll see. I mean, I really relate to this guy a lot personally, so sometimes it really is about control of your emotions, and so that you can take full advantage of your strengths and your gifts and your talents, and I think Cotto. It appears as though Cotto has really effectively done that, and it appears to be continuing to do it, because if there was ever a fight where emotion could get in the way of delivering, this is one of them for Cotto for sure, and but it appears as though he's channeled his anger and if he has any over the findings after his fight, not before, but about the wraps and the gloves and the possible cheating, and hopefully he'll channel it into a win. I can't wait. This is gonna be a good one, guys.